Edwin Frondozo on the Business Leadership Podcast every week for a unique program featuring insights and actionable items from the world's most successful business leaders. Hear firsthand the exclusive interviews and personal journeys on how today's transformational leaders made it to the top.
Hey everybody, it's Edwin, and thank you for joining me on the Business Leadership Podcast. Happy holidays, everyone. I'm so happy that you're here joining me this week, but not to disappoint you on the holidays, but I'm doing a remix. I'm changing it up a bit because I'm currently in Slovakia with my family, celebrating the holidays with our family and friends over here. I mean, I did think about releasing a regular interview episode to provide you some insights during the downtime and the holiday, but I thought I would take this time, this opportunity to be grateful and to really thank you, the listeners, for joining me on this journey, on this podcast journey. It has been an absolute joy learning and sharing the interviews that I've had with amazing business leaders, folks like my friend like Victoria Linux, Hamza Tahrani, Jeff Cates, Farhan Thawar, Christine Stewart, Mark Cohan, and many, many, many more. And I feel really bad that I'm not able to, or I won't be able to list everyone that I had on here because I've learned such a great deal from these folks. And I'm hoping that you also are getting the insights as well. This year has been an amazing journey from the concept, from the idea of the podcast to launching it with less than 2 months, to gaining recognition and winning an award, the Silver Award for Best Business Podcast at the Canadian Online Publishing Awards. So again, I cannot thank you enough. I'm feeling blessed. I'm really grateful for you. There is one thing that I want to share at this time is the number one question I get from both guests and listeners. And mind you, also from friends and family as well. But it's, why did you start this podcast? So last year at this time, I was doing a lot of, I wouldn't say soul searching, but I was gunning through a lot of professional development books. And one in particular hit home with me. It's called How to Live a Good Life by Jonathan Fields, entrepreneur and author out of New York City. He does the Good Life Project. He's just doing amazing things. But this one book, like many other professional development books, have exercises in them for you to, find out what you need to do or find some of your strengths. And one of their exercises was called, What's Your Killer App? What do people know you for? Why do people go to you? What is their perception of you? And I guess the whole idea about it is to see if what you're doing today doesn't match up to what people perceive you for. And by doing so, it might match up things and make you live a good life because you're doing things that, your outside world says that you should be doing, and vice versa. So I did that exercise, and man, was it really scary to do. You're sending an email to friends, colleagues, business partners, customers, and it's scary to press send. You're asking these people to, hey, by the way, we've known each other X amount of years. What do you know me for? And the people that you were 100% sure that they were going to reply and tell you something, they did not. For whatever reason, they're busy. It just goes into email spam. Maybe I email them way too much. And the folks that I didn't think were going to actually reply gave me the most concise feedback, reply. And it was really nice to hear what they thought about me. And the answers and the replies were very similar in scope. People were saying things like, Edwin, I trust your judgment, you're trustworthy, you're well connected, you understand technology, you're a people connector. And so it was crazy, it was enlightening, it was nice to hear from people. And it's an exercise that I even think about doing again. Maybe not right away, but it's something that was very helpful at the time. And also during that stage, I was interviewed on a podcast as well, being an entrepreneur. It was a Startup Canada podcast. Rivers Corbett, shout out to Rivers for having a fun podcast. So the two were in my brain at the time. They didn't link yet, but fast forward a month later, I started planning of how am I going to level up? How am I going to improve my business? How am I going to grow my personal brand. And when I looked at my biggest customers, my people who I'm very effective with, I thought about business leadership. These are folks that I work with, people I look up to. And when I looked at the business leadership podcast space, which is a busy space, but people who are producing business leadership podcasts are coming from the coaching or the personal development and still not telling the stories of business leaders, how they got to where they were, whether they're an intrapreneur or an entrepreneur. So that's what it is in a nutshell. This platform has it's grown well beyond I thought it would grow for. It's gaining some wings. I'm excited to really see where it goes in the new year. And I'm really happy that you are all here joining me on this journey of just gaining insight from business leaders from all parts of the world. So I look forward to bringing you more in the new year. Please let me know what you'd like to hear, how'd you like to improve, give me some feedback. But until then, like I said, let's take this time with family and friends, enjoy each other, and so happy holidays. I'll see you all in the new year. Thanks again for joining me on the Business Leadership Podcast. Edwin signing off.
Thank you for listening to the Business Leadership Podcast at thebusinessleadership.com.